Bing bang. Welcome back, everybody. I am Dustin with DFS Dads, and I got some fire content for you this week. We're going to be bringing you not one, not two, but three wide receivers for Week 14 of the NFL DFS season. Before we get to those picks, though, please like us on Facebook and Twitter. We give out free cash cores for showdowns throughout the week, and with COVID, we've had a lot of them lately. And so you want to check us out on there. Obviously, hit the subscribe and notification button here on YouTube, because we also bring a lot of content on this platform. So, like I said, in the past we've done one receiver, one running back, one QB. Well, we're up in the value here. We're going to be bringing you three. I'm going to start at the top, kind of go a tiered approach here, give you one high end guy I really like, one middle tier guy, and then one lower tier. So the top tier guy should be of no surprise to most of you, Tyreek Hill. The guy has been on fire. He obviously had a little bit of a down game this past one, but you gotta overlook that. He had 2 touchdowns called back. He still had 10 targets. The previous 3 games, he just lit the world on fire. So I look at volume, opportunity, which goes a lot into how I'm making these picks and selections. So Tyreek, plus 54% matchup advantage, according to PFF, against Nick Needham. Why does that matter? Well, Miami has really good cornerbacks, Byron Jones and Xavier Howard. Where does Tyreek play? Mainly in the slot, right? So he's going to be going up against Nick Needham. So not only do you have the corners locking down the outside receivers, now you have a clear matchup advantage with Tyreek over anybody, really, but even more so this week. Miami's also pretty good against tight ends. Not saying Kelsey won't have a good game, because he's matchup proof, similar to Tyreek, but they are generally better than other teams. They're top 5 in DK points allowed to tight ends. And so I just really think that Tyreek is going to get a ton of volume. They always give him the jet sweeps and, the shovel passes here and there too. So his value just increases with those. He is number 1 in air yards, number 2 in deep targets, number 4 in red zone targets, number 1 in TDs, tied number 1 in TDs, has 14. So number 2 in reception yards, number 5 in targets. I can just keep throwing statistics at you all day. And, the past 5 weeks, we've really seen an increase in his volume. He's gotten 57 targets in the last 4 games, where most of the season he was seeing 6 to 7 targets. And so now he's seeing a volume of almost 10 on average, with that, even being much more than that over the last 4 games. So Tyreek's in a great spot. Miami can score. They've proven that. Obviously they lost a couple weapons and they got Tua at the quarterback, but they will put up some points, and in turn won't be a huge blowout game, I don't think. So it will keep the Chiefs, throwing the ball, and Tyreek's going to be the main beneficiary. So love Tyreek on at the top end this week. My middle tier guy is going to be Robby Anderson. We talked about him a lot earlier in the year. He was just seeing so much volume, and he really paid off for us many times. He had a big play this last game, had 94 yards and a touchdown. And the big thing this week is COVID has hit the Panthers. So they're without Curtis Samuel. They're without DJ Moore. And so Robby Anderson's really the last man standing. It looks like CMC's also doubtful for the week. So, they really have no one else to throw it to besides him and Mike Davis. The other 2 corners are wide receivers are Brandon Zylstra and Farrell Cooper, which I don't see them just absorbing all the targets left by Curtis Samuel and DJ Moore. So Robby Anderson already gets over 9 targets a game. He's number 7 in target share. So he's already receiving the bulk of the targets anyway, as far as the team is concerned. Number 8 in receiving yards, number 11 in number 8 in receptions, number 11 in receiving yards, So he's been really solid and great all year long. He provides that upside with more volume, right? He's an explosive player. We all know that from his days with the Jets. Well, the Panthers use him a little more versatile. They give him underneath. They'll give him an occasional run. Then obviously they take their shots downfield too. So Robby Anderson at 6,200, I think is undervalued here, just given the fact that the other weapons are going to be taken away, and it's going to funnel all those vindicated target shares to Robby Anderson. So he's got a plus matchup against Devontae Busby there and the cornerback in Denver. And I really, really, really think he's going to get 13 targets type of game. So even if he catches 9 for 90, he's still paying off for you. My low end guy, who I really liked all year, he's just shown a prowess to go get the ball and score, and that's T. Higgins for Cincinnati. Brandon Allen looks like he's playing. He practiced in full. He obviously went out with a chest injury because Finley was just dreadful when he started that game for Cincinnati. So really like seeing Brandon Allen in there, but monitor that if something weird happens. But it looks, by all intents and purposes, that Brandon Allen's going to be under center. He's shown great rapport with T. Higgins. He's back-to-back weeks with 5 catches. He had 7 targets just this previous week. They're going against Dallas. So on paper, you look at Dallas's secondary. Oh, they're pretty good against the pass. They're top 8 in pass yards allowed per game. But you got to dig a little deeper than that. You go into it and you see the quarterbacks they've played and the teams they've played. Obviously, they just got done playing the Ravens, who don't throw the ball a ton. They obviously have the Giants, the Redskins with Alex Smith, and the Eagles with Wentz, who's been god-awful. So all those teams don't just chunk the rock, right? And then early on in the season, you had some other teams that were more run-heavy, like the Cleveland Browns. The teams that have lit them up, Pittsburgh, Big Ben threw for 300, I think 3 touchdowns. Early in the year, you had the Seahawks go in, and Russ threw for 5 touchdowns and 300-plus yards. Kirk Cousins lit them up for 300-plus yards and 3 touchdowns. So it's a little anomaly based on their stats because it's just because teams are running the ball all over them, and they're not having to throw. But the teams that have thrown have done it very well. Cincinnati has no run game. Their line is not very good. Joe Mixon just got ruled out for Week 14. So things are trending up to be a pass-heavy game again. T. Higgins, or the Cincinnati Bengals, come in as the second most pass attempts in the league. So they're chunking the ball around. Giovanni Bernard, I don't think has over 50 yards rushing this entire year since he's become starter. So I really like how that game's going to play out. And then you have T. Higgins, who gets almost 8 targets a game. For a guy that's 4,800 is awesome. He's number 11 in deep targets, so they're going for him downfield. Number 14 in air yards. He had 100% snap share last week. He is a little banged up. He hurt his hamstring trying to jump over and catch a ball last week at the very end of the game. He has practiced in a limited fashion, so he's trending in that direction to play. So I wouldn't be too worried about it, but just check to make sure. And like I said earlier, he has 5 catches back-to-back weeks. Really good spot. Dallas is vulnerable pretty much everywhere on the defense. They have a decent pass rush, but beyond that, they give up big plays, both in run game and pass. So I like T. Higgins in a great spot at 4,800 to get some deep balls, and he has the volume to pay off. He's had twice all year where he hasn't returned over 2x value, which is kind of the line I look for as far as being bad. And one of those games, he had 10 targets. It was a game Burrows got hurt. So, and the other one was the first game of the season. So he's been very steady, returning 3x most weeks, 3x plus. And I just think he's in a great spot to really smash this week at a 4,800 price tag. So there you go, guys. Remember, check us out, dfsdads.com, our social medias for free content, and hit that like button on the YouTube. All right, go make some money this week. Bang, bang.